My name is Devarier Markel Hurst. I paint in acrylics, and I also do mixed media. So that would be the art that I practice. Mixed media would be the incorporation of anything outside of canvas. So that would be like yarn or glass or glitter or glue, sometimes wood varnish, anything you can put your hands on really. I have been an artist since 1986. That's when I was born. I've always been a creative type of individual. Even in elementary school, I would take the wooden blocks and make like big floor displays, and I've always played with rocks and done the creative thing. So since 86. I would have to say my style of art would kind of be Black expressionism. If I would have to coin a term, that would be it, Black expressionism. When I paint, I try to make my artwork represent what's going on, indicative of the times, and also what's going on with me personally. Right now I'm trying to connect with kind of putting emotions into my art and not just painting. So it's kind of a representation of what's going on in society and what's going on in my head. It's a crazy world. My art means an escape. When I was younger, I used art to kind of escape, to take me to a place where I could kind of cope with some of the things in my childhood. So art is an expression of emotions, as well as it's a different world for me. I have the ability to disconnect from the world, but connect on something tedious. And it's very therapeutic for me. Who has influenced my art style? I would have to say Birmingham, Alabama most definitely influenced my art style. Growing up here, art really wasn't pushed upon us as students. And I had the opportunity to kind of branch out and study art, and not having a support of art in school kind of gave me the basis to explore and kind of define art for myself. Because I'm self-taught, my inspiration comes from several different places. I like to look at a lot of European and fashion designers. I look at African textiles, sculpture, movie reels, photorealism pictures like from the 70s. I really like the 70s and the 80s in abstract art. So that's where it comes from. Has art been oversaturated? No, I don't think so. I think artists have an important role in society because we voice the opinions of what's going on. So I think the more saturation of art, the more art, the better, because it means that people are communicating, conversations are starting, and it's progress. Let's see, my process, I usually take a canvas and I sit it down in front of me. It's usually blank. Sometimes I look for a stock image and I kind of look at that. I can't draw. People look at me crazy when I tell them that, but I took drawing in college and I made an F. It's something really rigid and stiff about using a pencil, and I haven't mastered how to sketch. So I don't sketch, I just paint. So I kind of get the feeling and the vibe, and I just kind of go from there. Now, what I'm learning now is that if I'm like upset or kind of sad, that emotion emotes itself into some of my portraits that I'm painting. So I have to work on that a little bit. But that's usually the process. Get my crystals, get my incense, get the vinyl records playing, maybe some Carl Thomas or some Eddie Kendricks, and just go Marvin Gaye. Just paint. What musical artist matches my artistic style? My all-time favorite artist would be Erykah Badu. I I would love for my art to emulate her music, if that makes any sense. I know like sometimes you can be in the car, you can hear like Next Lifetime and think about like when you were little in the backseat of your car with your mama. And that's what I kind of want my artwork to do is when you look at it, it makes you think about something in the past or it makes you think about something period. I just want people to think. So I would have to say Erykah Badu. That's about it. That's the only person I would let my artwork emulate. What sets me apart from others with my fine art? I would have to say being self-taught. It allows me to kind of explore and do things that aren't normally conventional. I like to mix colors and bright patterns, typically in ways that people that are trained in art don't do. So I think that would set me apart. One element of art that I like that I don't get to practice a lot would be splatter throw painting. I'm a big fan of Pollock. He was a painter from the 60s, and he basically would take the paint and just drip it and throw it over the canvas. So I missed the opportunity to being able to pour paint in my hands and just sling it on the canvas from across the room. It gets messy. I don't do it often, but that is one of my favorite things to do. If I could give advice to any artist, I would tell them not to listen to anything that anyone says and just to follow their emotion and just create. I think sometimes artists look for validation to do stuff from other people when in actuality they can just do it themselves. So if anything, I would tell that person just don't get advice, don't look for validation, just create.